Hey everybody, it's Michael from the Light Kick, and I want to do this small little video breakdown on possibly the greatest upset we will ever see in our lifetime, and that is Amanda Nunes versus Julianna Pena. Julianna Pena is the new UFC bantamweight champion despite being a 6-1 underdog against Amanda Nunes. And she did this in a way that no one expected, basically outstriking Amanda Nunes to essentially quit. What's interesting about this is that despite Julianna Pena doing this, no one's going to walk out of here saying that Julianna Pena's striking form from a technical perspective is better than Amanda Nunes's at all. With all due respect to the new UFC bantamweight champion, and is a paragon of self belief because no one, including myself, gave her a chance to win. Her punching technique was just awful. But she did a couple things that frustrated Amanda to no end and essentially got Amanda Nunes to quit by the end of the fight. And disclaimer, understand that when I say Amanda Nunes quit, I'm saying that she did kind of lose due to exhaustion and not that she's a quitter in life. You don't get to being one of the greatest female champions of all time and possibly the greatest female fighter of all time with a quitting attitude. So, yeah, with that out of the way, let's go to this breakdown. Now, Julianna Pena did a couple things really, really well. The first thing is strike when your opponent is striking or intercepting. Now, good strikers do this thing that when their opponent is going to strike or when they're about to strike, they hit them with an intercepting punch. This is something that not a lot of people talk about, and it's something that you don't really hear a lot of trainers even saying to beginners nowadays. It is so important to be able to strike when somebody is striking with the right strike. So that doesn't mean go into a brawl. But for example, if someone's running in a straight line, throw check left hooks, or if you're southpaw, straight lefts off an angle to intercept people while they're striking. This is good striking technique. And Julia Pena was essentially using her jab whenever Amanda Nunes wanted to strike, and it worked wonders for her because of the second detail that Julianna Pena did extremely well, and that was to get her head off of the center. Julianna Pena, I think on every single jab she threw, got her head off the center while Amanda Nunes did not. And as a result, Amanda Nunes was extremely inaccurate whenever she threw her punches. And the best part is that Julianna Pena was able to keep her jab on a straight line while Amanda Nunes, whenever she tried to counter with a cross over the top or a looping overhand, was getting beat to the punch by Julianna Pena. Now, what does intercepting a punch as well as getting your head off the center line do? It either has one of the two effects I'm about to mention or both at the same time. It can essentially make your opponent second guess themselves, or it has this phenomenon to make your opponent stupider. And in this case, we saw both definitely happen, but it was essentially the second effect that definitely took place here. While getting your head off the center line and dipping your head off to the right or to the left is a very, very important thing to do when striking. It is something that can be countered, and Amanda Nunes seemed to be able to counter that early. She did it with kicks. The problem with when you dip your head is that your legs and hips tend to follow, like Julianna Pena did in the first round, and that leaves you susceptible to kicks. In particular, the low kick and sometimes the teep or the switch kick if you're not careful and don't have your eyes up or a guard up. And Amanda Nunes essentially got her with two of those three options in the first round. But for whatever reason, Amanda went away from it. And my theory is that Amanda's ego got in the way. because she saw the way Julianna Pena was throwing her punches, which admittedly, from a form perspective, was not great, and tried the same tactic over and over to show her she was the better puncher, and it failed for her miserably. But give Julianna Pena her credit. She essentially beat the greatest female mixed martial artist of all time with tools and tricks that you can essentially take to your training, whether you're a beginner or a veteran of the game. That's it for the breakdown. If you like this kind of content, please like and share, and please subscribe as well. I'm Michael from The Light Kick, and until next time, I'll see you soon.